I think tonight is the night I give up completely and go and watch the TV. Take 4. Oh, this is ridiculous, honestly. It's ridiculous. Oh, if only I could win lottery, maybe I could buy a whole new setup. You never know, do you? Hi, Munchkin. I'm getting fed up with this. 4th time now. We'll see how long this one lasts. Yeah, we're back for 5 minutes. If it goes off again, I don't know what I'm going to do. It went off 10 times the other day. 10 times before it stayed on. This is 4 times. So, everybody keep your fingers crossed and keep hoping. I don't even know what it is, why it keeps going off. I don't know. Hi, Sophie, again. It could be a very long night, couldn't it? It could be a very eventful. Is that the word? Eventful night, yeah. Where people are coming, going, mostly me going. Everybody else trying to find me. I can see it being one of those days. Do you ever get one of those days, boy? Ugh. My life in a teacup. All right. Good evening, Linda. I may be here, I may be not. I know I've not heard of My Life in a Teacup. I've found a few. I've found the Narrowboat Pirate. I've found, oh gosh, what's she called? Narrowboat, whatever. I found 2 or 3 that are on narrowboats, but I haven't heard My Life in a Teacup. I don't think so, anyway. Oh dear. I tell you, I've been watching people renovate little cottages in China. I've been watching all sorts of stuff because there's absolutely nothing on the TV to watch. There is nothing worth turning the telly on for at all these days. So I've watched people stitching, Japanese ladies stitching. I've been watching them cooking some really weird vegetables. I've been watching some very strange videos. Just because I'm bored with the TV. There's absolutely nothing on. Oh, I have watched her, Munchkin. I have watched her. Yeah. She's a little bit weird. Yeah, I've watched the lad who used to be Scattered Threads. He now given up dyeing yarn, and he's now bought a cottage somewhere up in Scotland, and he's doing that up as well. Yeah. Yeah, I seem to be drifting towards weird and wonderful. Yeah. Oh dear. It makes me smile though. Yeah. Thumbs up. Number 4, Jeannie. Number 4. 4 times. Oh, we're taking bets how long I can stay on. Yeah. No, I watched that BL Time Cottages. She's been there for about 20 years though. She's not just done it. Yeah. It's very cold in Scotland. Very cold in the Isle of Skye. You wouldn't want me to live there. It's very cold. Very bleak. And they get cut off, and sometimes they don't get mail or they don't get food. If it's too rough for the boats to come, and it's fun. I used to watch these thrifting channels, but a lot of them are in America, and they have these humongous great thrift stores which we don't have over here, and they get things for about $3, which we don't get over here. So I got a bit bored with watching them. And I got a bit bored watching the people who all want to make this gingerbread blanket. And I'm like, oh God, no, please. You can't all want to make it. Have a bit of originality. Why do you all want to make a gingerbread blanket? Yeah. And they're all, oh, we're up to here now. And I'm like, oh, really? Yawn, yawn. Yeah, I watch a lot of narrowboat life people, yeah. And people living in tiny houses and doing them up, things like that. Anything's better than watching somebody crush her in the gingerbread blanket. Ah, that's so boring. Mm. If it's not that, it's a Stephen West shawl then hitting into it, you know. Oh. I'm like, please, can we have a bit of variety? Oh, I might be able to go to a wool show in February. I've got the dogs, yeah. They're quite... Rosie's not here. Trixie's asleep on the sofa. They've just been out for a wee. There's a knit show in Blackpool in February. So I'll be able to go to one. I won't be buying anything probably, but I'll be able to go to one. I'll be able to get the tram. Not have to rely on somebody taking me to Harrogate or wherever. Mm, you know. Yeah, the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool. Yeah, it is, Linda. It's me cardie. It's just the hexagon jacket, but I did it with white and with the boho, Signet boho yarn, which changes colour. So it's not all different rows, you know. I've got beads on that are the same colours, right? My gobstoppers, yeah. We have to make an effort, don't we? We haven't got any internet. We've got to make an effort, yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping that I don't go off again. Or if I do, you'll have to come and find me. Mm? Yeah. Oh, thank you. It's dead easy, Jean. Dead easy. It's just the hexagon jacket. There's 1,103,000 videos on YouTube showing you how to do one. So you don't even need a pattern. All you need to do is type hexagon jacket and fit all these. I can't remember which one I followed, but you know, they're all virtually the same. The only thing I do different is I stop, wherever we are, I stop and do like a sort of a square neck. Whereas most of the people carry on going and it's like up here, which is choking. No, they don't seem to have any trouble upstairs. They're not in at the minute, but I mean, the other night my telly kept going off saying I'd lost connection with the internet. I don't know what's going on. But the other day it was stormy, it was awful, it was windy, it was terrible. And our Ian said, well, the internet does go off when the weather's bad. That's the kind of internet we have. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. We don't have a phone line, so it's not coming through the phone line. So it must be coming through the magic of the ether. The trouble with it coming through the magic of the ether, it goes somewhere else. But Wednesday, oh my God. No, it's just, I can assure you, it's just Granny Stitch. If you can see it, it's just Granny Stitch. Nothing posh. Hiya, Chris. This is my 4th attempt, Chris. Just keep your fingers crossed I stay on. It just keeps cutting out. Yeah, Wednesday. Oh my goodness me. Hiya, Val. The weather was dreadful on Wednesday here. Dreadful. Oh, my son did give me a lift down to Knit Club on Wednesday. It was that bad. And he did a boat. Yeah, 4 times, a charm and a half. Please keep your fingers crossed, everybody. And please give me a thumbs up. I've only got 7. Well, the other night it went off 10 times, so I suppose 4 times is a bit of an improvement. So just, you know, everybody keep your fingers and toes crossed that I stay on. Oh, hello, Rosie. Rosie has come to join me. Hi, sweet pea. I don't know where she's been, but she's come down to join me. Trixie is sleeping on the chair. I finished the blanket. Did I show it? I think I did. Not the blanket. I don't make blankets. The shawl. I think I showed it you, didn't I? Finished it. It slants at the sides. It's a pattern. It's a paid-for pattern, but, you know, really, honestly, if you were good at it, you could do it, couldn't you? You have to increase. It's by Crochet Objet, not Object, Objet. Yeah. She's actually in America at the moment. She did in Canada. She did Niagara Falls. She's done Amish, and she was in Maine. The last video she's done. So I've enjoyed watching it because I mean, it was a very good video she did in Niagara Falls. Actually, I mean, I've seen her before, but she managed to, get quite nice. She does a lot of walking, so if you like leaves and countryside and things like that. She's called Crochet Objet, Objet. There's no C in it. It's not object, Objet. She's an Israeli lady with her family, but she's visiting America at the moment and Canada. So I do enjoy watching her, yeah. And I've been enjoying watching like the yarn show videos that I've been watching because when I go, I'm on a little scooter, bear in mind, and it's so packed and it's so crowded that I can't get near the stalls. So in actual fact, when I watch the videos, I see more of the wool things, yeah, than I actually do if I go myself, yeah. That's the lady's name, Chris. She's done a lot of walk. Yes, the video that went up yesterday, I think she was just walking through all the leaves and showing the different colours of the leaves, how they change colour for the autumn, yeah. Hi, Nerdy Stitcher. Hello there, Enid. Hello. I've been off 4 times already, so just keep your fingers crossed. I stay longer than, We shall see what we shall see. Yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to being able to go to a knit show. I went to, I think it was Yarndale. One of the ladies did a coach trip, but it was in a cattle shed. And if you know anything about cattle shed things, they're very, very uneven. And on your little scooter without any suspension, it was very, very bouncy like that. And I couldn't get, I had to get off my scooter to try to go and look at the stalls, because it was so packed. Yeah, I enjoyed it from the comfort of my armchair. I actually saw a lot more on the video than I would have done if I'd have been there myself, yeah. Yeah, that's the lady, yeah. I find her interesting. Well, the last 3 videos you may find interesting if you like looking round. Because she's a walker. She's into nature. She's not one that, wants to go to, how can I put it, amusement arcades and stuff like that. She likes nature. She likes walking. She likes rivers and things like that. Yeah, we didn't spend any money when we looked at it on YouTube, did we? No, we didn't. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? I don't spend any money when I go, I must admit. I must be tight. I look at some things and I think, oh, they're gorgeous, but I'll keep on looking. And then I get so overwhelmed because there's too much. When you've seen too much and your mind's all of a boggle and all the colours go into one and you forget what you liked and what you didn't like. And I finish up not buying anything because I'm just too overwhelmed. I think I bought 2 books by Janie Crow last time I went. Beautiful. She makes beautiful mosaic tile patterns, to make blankets and that, which, hello, Janet doesn't make blankets, yeah. And I finished up giving them to my friend in Scotland, not Sue, another friend of mine in Scotland, who's made the Persian tile blanket and everything. I finished up sending them to her because I thought, Janet, they're just going to stay in your bookcase forever and a day. Are you going to make any of them? No, you're not. And so I knew she would use them, so there was no point keeping them. I could have sold them, but Hayley's been a good friend of mine for years, so I thought, no, I'll send them to Hayley. Yeah. I'm trying not to buy any, although I did have to buy 2 balls of yarn on Thursday because I'll show you why. Because yeah, it's Oh, hang on a minute. I bought 2 balls. You might gather it's purple. New fashion, super chunky by Woolcraft. It cost me £2.25 a ball. I bought 2. Why am I buying wool? You may well ask. Well, you know, when I undid a pink cardigan that was too big and sloppy for me. So I'm redoing it. But of course, when you unravel anything, you lose lots of yarn because you finish up with little tiddly bits. So I'm doing a jacket, redoing it, making just a plain jacket, running out of yarn. So I got the purple. It looks blue on camera, but it's purple, to extend the sleeves down. And also, I'm running out at the back is not long enough. So I've just started doing the same pattern on the back because I don't have enough of the pink. So if I only wear it in bed or around the house. I found out that the charity shops don't like woolies over here because they don't have wash code labels on them and they don't have size labels on them. So if I'd have given it to the charity shop, they would have probably binned it anyway. Good evening, Connie. So I decided to unpick it because it was way too big for me. I wasn't going to wear it. And I hate big hooks. Just let it be said. I hate thick yarn and I hate big hooks. Super chunky on an 8mm hook is killing me. Got some more of the compression gloves. I'm only wearing one. But they are working. The pain is not as bad while I'm wearing it. Yeah. You've too much yarn and content. Mine's packed up in bags at the minute, so I'm reorganising. I've got way too much. I was going to put some to sell on eBay, but my camera decided to die. So I'm just... Everything's happening at once. My camera decided to die. My computer keeps shutting off. So I'm thinking, oh, blimey. Sustern Green. What kind of shop is that, Linda? I've heard of Blood Brothers. I've not seen it, but I've heard of the music. Is it a musical? I've heard of it, yeah. Yeah. Yours is in totes. Yeah, fish and chips. Can you hear her? She's grunting. She's grunting. Fish and chips up here. You can't beat northern fish and chips. I don't think the southerners know how to make them. Sorry if you're down south. It's a traditional northern dish. Unless you're in Bolton, of course, and then it's meat pies. The pie eaters in Bolton. Oh, does anybody else not like using big hooks? I know a lot of people on YouTube, these young ones, seem to love that great big fluffy blanket wool and a huge hook. And it's really, really hurting my arm and my hand. I don't know how they manage to crochet things with it. Oh, yeah, you get mushy peas. Of course you get mushy peas. And you get gravy if you want it. I believe down south they never even heard of mushy peas or gravy. I'm happier me on about a 4.50 or a 5, yeah. Enid, you've always been cranky, love. You're going to knit some tiny gnomes, Linda. Oh my goodness. I've frozen. I'm not surprised, Val. I'm having terrible internet trouble. Yeah. Oh dear. Refresh your screen, Val. Chris says it's not frozen for him. Diddly doo diddly doo. It's my internet is rubbish, I tell you. Absolute rubbish. Right. UK Medic's going to premiere in 30 minutes. Right. Laura Sapido. I like her videos, but she's all in Spanish, so it's all right, Spanish. She does do some in English, but the majority of her videos are in Spanish. Sometimes you can understand them, even though she's Spanish, because when you're a grocer, she sort of holds up a hook and puts on screen how many chain. You can kind of gather what she's doing. So that's why I subscribe to her, because, yeah, the god of the internet, whoever he may be, or she. We haven't got to be sexist these days, have we? Or them, or it, or who. God, you get in trouble no matter what you say these days, don't you? He, she, it, them, there. I tell you, I'll get in trouble one of these days because I refuse to subscribe to all that rubbish. Oh dear. Hey. Tell you what I did see the other day on the internet. I think it was today. RuPaul did his male walk-in dressing room the other day, and today he did his female one. I would have liked to have worn his shoes if I could have done. Mind you, I can't wear the heels these days, but oh my goodness me, what a collection. I know I've still only got 14 thumbs up and there's 40 people watching. Thank you, Val, for pointing that out. Somebody is not busy with their thumb. It's free. It doesn't cost you nothing to give a thumbs up. I don't charge. My God. Hi, Diane. We've all got our fingers and toes crossed because I keep going off the internet. You've done it, Connie. Good show. Good girl. Yeah. Yeah, they might be watching on TV, although on my TV, I can do a thumbs up. You go up you press the up and it highlights everything. And then you've got little things that go across and it says channel something else. And then you've got a thumbs up. So you can actually do it on the TV because I still do a thumbs up for people that I'm watching on TV. So on my TV, I can do it. Yeah. So it's not as easy to do it, but you can. And you can even subscribe when you're watching on TV as well. Because I've managed to do that. Yeah. Sorry for laughing, but I'm listening to this little one grunting. What did they suggest? Come on, surprise us. Limit your caffeine and your sugar. Well, yeah. It's a wonder they didn't say, "Hiya, Sina." It's like when they say to me and Chris, alternative therapy for pain. Think of something else. Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, dear. If men had to suffer with all what we suffer with, they'd do more about it, I tell you. We are the strongest sex. We can live through this. Hey. Oh, gosh, I'll be glad when I finish this thing. Mine went through the whatever it was. In this case, he never came out with it. Right, let's see what I can do next. This time I'm going to put a marker on it. I think maybe I might do, although I don't think I need to. I don't drink as much coffee as I used to, I must admit. And I certainly can't drink strong coffee. Oh, God, Janet, what are you doing? Just let me talk amongst yourselves while I find out where my bubble's gone. There we go. I didn't get the injections again. Surprise, surprise. I've had them for 3 months. I was doing too well, wasn't I? I'll probably be another 6 months before I get them again. Every time I don't get them, and then when I get them, my stomach is so upset. Oh, yeah, are they talking about giving them to obese? Yeah, mine had that similar malfunction as well, Linda. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, they're now considering them giving them to obese people, these injections, to get them back into work. Isn't that nice of them? They won't go back into work. You can jab them all you want. If they don't want to go back into work, they don't want to go back into work, whether they're obese or whether they're skinny. It's not right. They should not get priority over people who have diabetes. Yes, I know it's my own fault I've got diabetes, probably, but I never had it until I was old, so, you know, my pancreas is giving up, probably. Because I said to the nurse, I said, why is it I've got it? I'm not like sweetie kind of mad person. And she said, well, a lot of it is to do with your age. She said, your pancreas just wears out as you get older. It does help if you're not obese. I am overweight. I'm not humongously overweight, but I am overweight, yeah. Oh, God. Lord knows what they're going to tax us on next. Hey, Shad, Chris, we've got this budget thing or something coming up in October. Yeah, we'll set nerdy on them all. We could come over here and have a go at Storm. Hey, Judy. Somebody needs to have a go at him. He's a pillock. As I said, I am not political. I don't care what party people belong to. When there are absolute nutters, that's what bothers me. I'm not going to say, oh, if the other party were in, they'd be brilliant. No, they're all nutcases. A lot of them. All out for themselves. Number one. You don't care who suffers. Oh, they're only the poor. They're only the elderly. Just kill them all off and then vote for us. Vote for us. It's probably the same the world over. Yeah, we need Larry. Larry the cat needs to be Prime Minister. Have a lot more sense out of him. They've got a Downing Street cat, if you're unaware. And he's been through 10 different Prime Ministers and he's still there, Larry the cat. So I think Larry the cat for Prime Minister. We should have a campaign. Bring back Larry. He'd make a lot more sense, I tell you, than this bloke. I mean, the last one wasn't brilliant, but this one's the first. I don't know. What is the world coming to? Bring back the cat. Yeah, we could do with that. Yeah, we could do with the dog being a mayor. We could do with the cat being Prime Minister, couldn't we? Oh. Now they're both licking their paws for some unknown reason. Rosie's such a noisy licker. That'll be my thumbnail. He always picks something lovely to do for my thumbnail. Because I'm no good at editing. You probably gathered that, haven't you? So I can't edit. I can't join videos together. I can't do anything like that. Hello, excuse me. Yeah, you're right there, Chris. Yeah. You haven't had a French bulldog then, Nerdy Stitcher. You ask Nathan. Hi, Cass. How's everybody been? You said it off 4 times. Keep your fingers crossed, Cass. That's how I've been frazzled. But we're just talking about Larry the cat for Prime Minister. That's what we think so. No, this French bulldog can clear a room. She's disgusting. They're well known for it, apparently, French bulldogs. They are very melodious creatures. We've tried changing her diet and all sorts of things, but you ask Nathan. Nathan's got one, yeah. Yeah, I thought my little Buster was bad, but she's terrible. She keeps snoring. I wouldn't mind, but she's awake. Oh, dear. They're worse than a man who's been on Guinness the night before. She was on briefly last week as well, Shad. You must have missed her. She works, you see, on a Sunday, so that's why we don't get much of her company anymore. It's not that she's gone off us, is it, Kaz? Well, I hope not, anyway. I think it's just that she's working. Yeah, we don't give our dogs human food, but if ever they've accidentally ate any human food, they're worse. They can clear a county. Oh, dearie me. That's sad. I hate animals being ill. No, it is awful. We don't want to know, but sadly, animals don't live as long as humans. It's always sad when we have to part. But we have to do what's best for the animal when all's said and done. You have to wear your big girl pants, don't you, and do what has to be done. I know with Buster, I put it off for weeks until he told me. Oh, that's good to know, Kaz. Yeah, that's good to know. Despite my internet troubles and we keep vanishing. The other day, it was 10 times, would you believe? 10 times my internet went off. I was nearly throwing the computer through the window. We'll all keep our fingers crossed, Nerdy, for him. One of my other people I watch, what's she called? She's lost her Alsatian this week, Ruger. Oh, I think it begins with an S, her name. She's got blonde hair. Yeah, she had 2 Alsatians, but she's had to lose one this week. She lost one last year, got another one. And then this other older one's gone. Yeah, I am she. That's the one. Yeah, she's lost Ruger. Yeah, Cynthia. Why did I think it began with an S? Cynthia with an S. Yeah. Yeah, he was quite, well, not old, but old for a dog, wasn't he? I think he was about 12 or something. I know she lost the other one last year, didn't she? Then her husband brought one home, a young pup. So she still got one, I think. Oh, it looks quite blue on camera. It's actually purple. Oh, this is hard work. I'm going to find something with a small hook next time. Don't know what I'm going to do next, but I think I might make some cushion covers. Yeah, it's supposed to be going to be bad at Blackpool, according to Linda's friend that does the videos. We've got a storm, whatever, coming tomorrow. I won't be going up the seafront tomorrow. I won't be going anywhere. That's for sure, for sure. Oh, good. The sleeves are plain, I think, Kaz, so you're all right when you get the front done. I think the sleeves are reverse stocking stitch, aren't they? Yeah, Molly fell over, didn't she? Like my friend can't stand on 2 feet either. Storm Ashley, that's the one. Oh, my big gobstoppers, you mean? Yeah, I've got my gobstoppers on today, Shad. To match my gobstopper cardigan. He probably got dazzled by my cardigan, that's why he didn't mention my necklace. Yeah, I won't be going down the seafront tomorrow, that's for sure. We'll get Storm Ashley coming. They look like candies. They look like, well, yeah, we've got sweets here that we call gobstoppers. They're great big ones, and you put them in your mouth. And when you suck them, they change different colours as they get like the coating and the coating and the coating. You know, it might start off blue, then they go red, and then they whatever. Yeah, I think the sleeves are reverse stocking stitch, if I remember rightly. Can't remember. Oh, the almond. Oh, I don't like. Oh, I don't like almonds anyway, and sugared almonds. Oh, ooh, they make me go cringy. Oh, I remember sitting making, wedding favours with somebody once. You know those organza bags and ribbon, and she invited us all. I wasn't even a maid of honour or a bridesmaid, but she invited all her friends, and we were all sat around this table, putting sugared almonds and stuff in and tying little bows and ribbons on these blooming net bag things. And she was saying, "You can eat any if you want." I went, "No, there's no problem. I won't be having sugared almonds. No, thank you." But it was a Greek wedding, and they had little pots of like almond paste, marzipan stuff. I kept it for a bit, then it went off, even it was in the jar, so I threw it out. Jawbreakers, yeah. You've got one from your friend's wedding, what? Sugared almond or a party favour? We never had anything like that when I got married. I don't think they did that sort of thing. I don't remember it. At my niece's wedding, she had poppy seeds. She had a little package with like to commemorate the wedding of and their names on it. And it was poppy seeds that you planted, yeah, which I thought was a nice idea. We planted ours, but they didn't come up. I like poppies as well. I used to have big red poppies in my garden at Mountside, and then one year they just all died. They came up year after year after year, and then one year, nothing. Don't know where they went. I didn't dig them up or anything. They just disappeared. Oh, the same colour as the bridesmaid. Were you the bridesmaid, or you just go to the wedding? I only had one bridesmaid. My mum's family was huge, right? So I couldn't pick, if you know what I mean, little bridesmaids, because it would have caused no end of problem. You know, when you've got like 20 or 30 little children of bridesmaids' age, you know, and you'd have left one out. So I just didn't bother. Guess what? Ooh, what? What, Kaz? Come on, enthrall us all. What? You get married, you get had the garden done, they finish your house. Let's all guess what it is. She was having alterations done to the house, we should say. Oh, you didn't? Oh, pregnant. Yeah, that'll be a chance. You are not joining that gingerbread crew, are you? Oh, if I've got to put up with that, everybody that I follow showing me where they get up to week after week on this blooming gingerbread daft blanket. Thank God you don't. Nobody's pregnant. She just said, guess who? Guess what? So somebody said she was pregnant. You knew I'd be playing. Oh, God, yeah. No, everybody has ordered that gingerbread blanket. And they're all posting it on their daily vlogs saying, oh, we've done the first bit. And I'm like, oh, please, I don't have to put up with this while you finished it, do I? Every blinking video, another bit done, another bit. Oh, please. I got married at my grandma's church. Stained glass window was beautiful. The wedding was rubbish, but I mean, the window was lovely. Well, at least you didn't get married in jeans like a lot of people do. I look at some people's wedding photos, you know, on Facebook, and I think, you don't even look as though you've had a wash, you know. I mean, if they want to be casual, fair enough, but they don't even look like they've made a casual effort, you know. It's your wedding day and you're having photos took. At least comb your hair and look like you've had a wash. They look like they've. Oh, yeah, that's a nicer one. That's one of Janie Crow's. I don't even like that gingerbread one. It's not the best blanket in the world. When you think of the beautiful ones Janie Crow's done, you know, with the Persian tiles and everything like that, I just don't think that gingerbread one's nice. Sorry, whoever it is who's bought one. Sorry. I just don't think it's nice. I mean, the Janie Crow blankets are works of art. Admittedly, they're perhaps beyond a lot of people's, you know, expertise. I looked at it and thought, they weren't beyond my expertise, they were beyond my patience. Yeah. Too many colours in them and too many intricate bits. So I gave the books to a friend of mine in Scotland because I knew she'd do them and I wouldn't. It's not a question I couldn't do them. I just wouldn't have had the patience with all them different colours, you know. Plus the fact if you don't get the right colours, they look garish and horrible, don't they? What was that other one that everybody was doing? Was it last year or the year before? Sophie's World. That looked nice in the right colours, but I saw some horrors on YouTube where they just looked as though they'd picked any old colour that they had in their stash. Yeah. Oh dear. You needed a gusset in it to Kaz. Do you remember that Sophie's World, was it called, that everybody was making? Was it last year or the year before? Subtle colours and that, it did look nice. I will confess it did look nice. But some of them, oh, gary colours was not the word for some of them. They looked awful. So I'm like, really? I mean, my shawl, so oh dear. God, we've got two poorly dogs now, have we, Jane? We've got Nerdy's dog and your dog. You like to be above everybody, don't you, Nerdy? I mean, I didn't pick colours for this, but this is what this was. This was just to use up oddments of wool. It's not like, oh, look at this, isn't it wonderful colours? It's pretty revolting, really, but it is what it is. It's just using up oddments. I would like to do it in nicer colours, more, can I put it? Toning colours, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We've got another poorly dog on here as well, Jane. Not mine, not mine. Ours are all right, touching wood, so far. Oh, I'm hoping I've got enough wool to at least make this long enough. I've got to put bands on it as well, so I need to save some balls of wool for the bands. Oh, God, this is hurting my hand. Oh, to be on a smaller hook. Oh, to be on thinner yarn. Oh, at least it's keeping my knees warm. Right. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I unravelled the cardigan. It was bright pink and it was big and it was sloppy and it was miles too big for me. So I unravelled it. But of course, once you unravel something, oh God, is it not a blanket? No, it's not. I unravelled it, but of course I'd lost a lot of yarn by unravelling it. So I've had to put purple. It looks royal blue, but it's purple to make it. It'll still be a shorty jacket, but I have got a blanket. I made a yellow blanket for my scooter. So I did make a blanket. God, it was the most boring thing ever. No, the most boring thing ever was a corner to corner blanket I made for my cousin's son. Maroon corner to corner. Well, this one's just the what do you call it? Hexagon jacket. I have another one, but it's miles too big. That's the trouble when you lose weight. I don't like big over. Some people like big, massive, oversized things. I don't. If you're a big girl like me, wearing something oversized doesn't help. It makes you look bigger. You don't hide underneath it like some big ladies seem to think, oh, I like it big so it doesn't touch me and I feel, you don't feel slim. You look massive. You're better off getting something that fits you. Yeah, you're big. So what? You're big. But wear something that fits. Oh, I love dandelion and burdock. You can't get it everywhere. I bought four bottles of it last time I saw it because I don't see it very often. Where am I going now? Going across here. Oh, it's really stiff as well, even though it's on an 8mm hook. I'm getting fed up with it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to put it down for a minute. I'm going to eat me cream egg. Oh, I'll probably only wear the cardigan in bed. It's not going to be what I'm going to go out in, I don't think. When I can't afford to put the heating on. And I'm wearing my thick jumper. I'm going to knock on 10 Downing Street and go and sit in Starmer's front room, or Angela Rayner, or that other nutty, Rachel Reeves or something. We'll go and knock on the door and just go and sit in their lounge. We'll all be in the library, won't we? There'll be no room. Be standing room only in the library. We'll all have gone in there to stay warm. I read somewhere where one old dear couldn't afford the heating on, so she bought a day ticket for the buses and just kept going round and round and round on the buses all day long because they had the heater on the bus. So she stayed on the bus all day long. Thought that's a bit extreme, isn't it? Yeah, build a bonfire. Well, I'll be doing that, won't we? We'll be burning us furniture in a bit. Hello, Rosie. Hello, darling. Rosie's just got out again. I found these in the drawer and they're so old they've lost the yellow out the middle. I don't know what's happened to the yellow, but it's disappeared. They're a cream egg without the yolk. Got a hole in the middle where the yolk was. Oh, I know you're not allowed coal fires, you're not allowed this, you're not allowed that. With my fire, I've got to burn a certain kind of fuel. Oh, our heating broke down. Was it Monday, Tuesday? It's freezing, thank God I had the fire. I've got a coal on it now, but it's not proper coal. It's this special smokeless coal stuff. I think it's gone out. I'm not sure. Oh, it's still going, I think. No, the fan's still going, so it's still going. I put coal on when it gets to a certain time of night, just to bank it down so it glows, so it stays vaguely warm. It goes through logs at a rate of knots, this fire. I use the wood stove in here because it's a big room and it's got a radiator. It never gets warm. The other rooms get warmer. I don't know what's wrong with this room. It never gets very warm. Yeah, we all had coal fires when we was kids. Mine used to get fogs and smogs and, couldn't see your hand in front of your face some days, could you? Trying to find your way to school and the fog finish up somebody's driveway. No idea where you were, but completely lost. Even though you walk the same way to school every day. In the fog, you just got really disorientated. Oh, yeah. The politicians will all have their heating up cranked up to 90 degrees, won't they? They can blubbing afford it. Remember the paraffin heaters? Oh my goodness, did they smell horrible. People who were poor used to have paraffin heaters because it was the cheapest form. Boom, 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 boom. S so blue, boom, 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 boom. S so blue, boom, 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 boom. S so blue, boom, 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 boom. S so blue. You used to go into the hardware shops and you could smell this that they sold paraffin. Mm. There's lots of fires and that because kids used to knock them over and things. Yeah, very dangerous things. I used to have a color gas heater. I haven't got it now because my son didn't think it was necessary, so we don't have it anymore. I used to have a color gas. It was, oh God, did it warm the house? It was quite reasonably priced as well. You used to have to get the color gas bottles delivered. But I bet they've gone dear now, like everything else. The dog used to love that, the color gas, when I put it on. Well, I used to put it on one. It had like 3 bar things. I only had to put it on one. You'd be sweating after about a quarter of an hour. You'd be sweating even with 1 bar on. And the gas used to last forever. I can't remember how much I used to pay for a big canister of gas. I think it was about £25 or something, but it used to last months. They maybe take up more, Kaz, if you're using them for cooking as well, yeah. Oh, yeah, paraffin, that's probably banned long ago now. Yeah, you used to go with your little container to the hardware store and you used to fill it from a big tank that they had in the store. I mean, they wouldn't allow them to, it'd be a blooming fire risk, wouldn't it? The fumes alone. If anybody went in with a cigarette, boom, end of the hardware shop. Oh, everything's a carcinogenic when they go into it now, Chris, isn't it? It's a wonder we're all alive. When I think about it, babies' cots painted with lead paint. all this sort of stuff that, ooh, ooh, they're going to die. We never died. Oh, yeah, we used to have a blower, called it a blower. It was a piece of metal with a handle on it. And you had to be careful because that handle used to get really hot. And you used to put it with a piece of newspaper and put that. And if you didn't watch what you were doing, the newspaper would go up the chimney and set the chimney afire. And my mother used to be going, "Ma, you have the fire brigade round in a minute. We'll get fined." I think they used to fine you if you set your chimney on fire. I know my mother was always terrified I'd set the chimney on fire. Yeah, when you made paper, you used to roll newspaper up to make paper spills, tie them in a knot. They looked like little donuts so that you could, use them as firelighters. And then you used to buy oily firewood. It was a little bundle of wood about that high, tied round with a string. And it was soaked in something. You used to call it oily firewood. And you used to put a few of them with these paper spills, and then the coal on top, and then light the paper underneath then it lit the oily firewood, and then eventually it lit the coal. Oh, I used to know all the ins and outs of. When you think about it, they wouldn't let kids these days, would they? Light the fire, you know. I remember having to light the fire from being 5, 6, 7 years old. You had to light the fire. Kids did it. It'd be all, ooh, health and safety. You can't let a kid near fire. Ooh, giving it matches. Ooh. And we used to have a long taper. It was like a very, very thin candle. It was thinner than that. It's what they used to call a taper. It was long like that. I think they still have them in churches. And they used to go to the gas cooker and get a light from the gas stove and carry it through like that, making sure it didn't go out to the fire so you could light the fire. Yeah. I tell you, it's a wonder those kids are still alive, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Yeah, we used to have a big coke furnace at school as well. We used to stoke it up, and if ever it went out, oh, boy, was the caretaker in trouble. Never sent us home, though. We had to sit there in your coats. "Miss, I'm cold." Well, stand up and swing your arms about then. She used to take us into the yard, and we all had to do exercises to warm up when the boiler went out. No such thing as sending them home. My God, we used to trudge through snow to school. And we didn't wear trousers back in the day, or boots. Nobody could afford a pair of boots. You had your wellies and a pair of your dad's socks, yeah. Trudging through the snow, and if it was deep, it'd go over the top of your welly. So you'd be sat at school with either bare feet and your pumps while you put your socks on the radiators to steam. Oh dear, those were the days. The kids don't know they're born, do they, today? They get chauffeured to school. They don't even get their little backsides wet anymore, do they? We used to have to trudge through all sorts: rain, hail, snow, fog, sleet. Oh, go to school. Don't be so soft. Go to school. You never had a day off, did you? Little rows of little coats in the playground, in the cloakroom, all steaming on the radiator. Yeah, if you ran out of mittens, you had to wear socks, did you? You had to wear socks on your hands if you ran out of mittens. Oh, those were the days, weren't they? And the outside toilet when you went out and it was freezing cold and there were spiders in there. And you had to take a little torch or something. "I'm not going out there, Mum, it's cold. Will you come with me?" "No, I'm not. You're a big girl now, you can go on your own. It's scary out there, Mummy, there's spiders." It's no wonder we had to have syrup of figs because we were all constipated because we wouldn't go to the blinking outside toilet in the dark and the cold. Oh, God, the good old days, eh? I tell you, it'd do today's kids good to spend a couple of weeks living like we used to live. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, you had to put, well, it stop them leaking. I mean, if you did have a pair of boots, they weren't waterproof, were they? You'd be wet. Yeah. Yours was outside as well, was it? A cold bum was the least of it. I was terrified of spiders. Oh, and then it would, if you didn't have a lamp in there, we used to have a little, what we called a little Kelly lamp, a little paraffin lamp in there, burning low. Ideally to stop the water in the cistern tank freezing, otherwise you couldn't flush it, could you? Oh, it is hard to go when you're sat there petrified when you're like 5 years old and you're scared of the dark. Oh dear. Yeah, and you get chapped legs, didn't you, where the top of the welly rubbed against your little legs when they were wet. Oh, my little legs used to be so sore. They were like a red ring round your leg. They used to call it chap legs, didn't they? Or do you remember corned beef legs sitting by the fire so close that your legs went mottled at the front? My mum used to call them, come away, you get corned beef legs, come away. They were like mottles, weren't they? And chilblains. Oh, God. Kids don't get chilblains now, do they? We used to get chilblains. Oh, they were so sore, weren't they? They used to burn your little toes off when you got a chilblain. Oh, when I think back. Oh, the wonders of childhood. Oh, God, they're not outside at all, are they? We got thrown outside to play in all weathers because there was no room in the house. We only had a little two up, two down. There was no room to play. If you were lucky, you could colour in. If it was pouring down with rain, you could colour in with a pencil, couldn't you? Couldn't have any friends in because there was no room. You know, nobody had big houses back then. You had two rooms. One room downstairs, which was your lounge, living room, whatever. And then you had a kitchen with no heat. So sometimes my mum would let me have a friend to play in the kitchen, but you were freezing in the kitchen because there was no heat. You know, can we put the can we put the stove on, Mum? It's cold in here. No, you can't. Run around a bit and keep warm. We can always go out to play. Well, can I come in the front room? Well, you can, but Valerie will have to go home. Oh dear. Yeah, no millions of toys thrown all over the floor like today. You just didn't have toys. I was allowed to play with a doll or something. Um, I used to sit under the table. We had a great big table in the front of the room, you know, a great big square table with a chenille tablecloth over the top that hung down and it had fringe with bubbles on it. I used to sit under the table to play when I was little because it was the only place there was spare, you know. Nobody else was under this table. This little square was mine. I could sit there all I wanted. I could colour and do everything. Yeah, we used to do that outside. There wasn't any room inside to make a den in the house, yeah. But I used to use under the table as my den, yeah. I used to sit under the table. You couldn't read because it was too dark, but you could play under the table, yeah. But nobody wanted that space, so I was quite all right with that. And there was no sofas or anything. There was two fireside chairs, you know, and they were quite uncomfy when you think about it. I mean, my mum and dad never got any comfort in their life. There was no squashy sofas. They had a chair either side of the fireplace, a little fireside chair. That was it, with no sofa, nothing like that. There wasn't room. Yeah. Oh, I used to put blankets over my mum's washing line, to make a tent. Oh, God, did I used to get in trouble for getting them dirty. When you think about all the toys that today's kids have and all the few things that we had, but you used your imagination, didn't you? You didn't have the things to, you know, you didn't. Everybody didn't have a doll's pram. Everybody didn't have a doll. You just shared. Whoever had. Same with the boys. Somebody would have a football. Somebody else would have a cricket bat. You didn't have everything. You didn't have the cricket bat, the cricket ball, and the football boots. You didn't have all of that. Same with roller skates. I don't think I ever wore two roller skates. You always had one roller skate and shared one roller skate with your friends, so you'd both have one roller skate each. You know, oh, you had a swing. No, we didn't have a swing. We had the park up the road. That my mum used to see me across the road because it was a main road. I wasn't allowed to cross the main road on my own because there was big wagons and stuff going up and down it. So she used to see me across the road, me and my friend, and we used to go to the park. But coming back, we had to wait. And sometimes she'd say, "You've come across the road." And I'd say, "Well, it's all right, Mrs. So-and-so saw us across the road." "Oh, she did indeed. You need to come back home. You don't need Mrs. So-and-so to see you across the road." Oh, dear. It won't be tidy if you cross the road on your own. Oh, it's like no man's land, wasn't it? Ooh. No, we never had a swing. Nobody had a swing set. Nobody had a garden, let's face it. Yeah, I had to share a pair of roller skates. I can't remember who had the roller skates, me or my friend. I know we only had a pair between us, yeah. We didn't have a pair each. Or she might have had a pair that she had to share. Or was it her sister who had a pair? I think they had a pair, but there was three of them, yeah. So she shared with my roller skate, and her brother and sister shared with the other pair of roller skates. None of us ever had a pair. I don't think I could skate on a pair because I never had a pair. Yeah. And if you were playing football and the bloke who had the lad who had the football got shouted in, he took his football with him, and then you were all like, "What do we do now?" Stuart's had to go in and take his ball home because his parents wanted to let the ball stay out. He had to bring the ball back home, yeah. Oh God, the big kids at the park used to do that. They used to swing the swings so they went all the way around and they'd be off at the top in a knot. And the park keeper used to have to come and try and get them all down. The big teenagers used to go in at night and do that, wind them all around the top barrier so that the little kids couldn't swing at night, yeah. I remember getting stuck in one of the swings for the little ones that are like a round thing like that. I remember getting in one of them and getting stuck. Couldn't get out of it. Park keepers like, "Well, you're too big for that. You're too big. It's only meant for babies. What are you doing getting in there? You had to help me out of it." And we used to take wax bread paper to make the slide slippy. Because if it had been raining, you were going down the slide going, mm, mm, mm. So we used to get grease-proof bread papers and do the slide, like dry it off. And there were no such thing as anything soft at the end. You went straight onto the concrete, didn't you, the bottom? There were no soft play areas. Same with the swings. If you fell off the swings, you went straight on the concrete, didn't you? There was no pussyfooting about back in the day. I mean, now they take all these things down for health and safety. Do you remember the umbrella that you went round and round on? And the big kids used to spin you like mad till you got off and you were like that, and then you were sick. I wasn't allowed to do handstands if I had a dress on. That's why we always used to tuck our dresses in our knickers. So we did a handstand. My mum used to say, you can't let the boys see your knickers. I used to think, little do you know, they're tucked into my knickers now. So the boys are looking at my knickers because the dress is stuck to it. Well, you did a handstand. It weren't just your knickers that used to come flying up you. You'd be showing more than your knickers, wouldn't you? Because you'd be over your head, the dress. Yeah. And we used to do skip rope games, didn't you? You'd have two people turning up. Yeah. And then you'd be singing that, you know, I'll call him my very best friend, very best friend. Then two of you go in, and then three of you'd be in, and then somebody'd trip up and the whole thing would go shebang, wouldn't it? I love watching things sometimes on YouTube for, you know, with the children are singing these little old songs, but nobody sings anymore. Oh God, we used to play two ball against the pub wall, you know, the gable end on the pub. And I mean, the landlady, she was very nice with us for most of the time, but every now and again she'd say, oh, come on, girls, you know, will you move it? She said, you're driving me customers mad with bump, 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 with this ball, yeah. Yeah, the big ship sails through the alley, alley, oh. Yeah, there were all things like that. The kids today don't know them, do they? They don't play them, they don't sing them, they don't know them. Yeah, in and out the we used to say bonny bluebells. In and out the bonny bluebells. Or the farmer wants a wife. The farmer wants a wife. E-I-L-E-O, the farmer wants a wife. Then it used to be the wife wants a child. The child wants a dog. And it went all the way through. You used to play Kirby, didn't you, going across the road? I don't know what the game was, but you had to touch the curb at the other side. I forget how you did it now. Then there were statues, weren't there? So one person would stand with its back, and then he'd whip round and turn round, and they had to stop moving, didn't you? Like a statue. And if you carried on moving, you were out, yeah. And then Simon Says, you know, Simon Says, put your hands in the air and all that. And every now and again, somebody would say, put your hands in the air, then you'd be out because you didn't say Simon Says, yeah. No, we didn't do it with a ball. I can't remember how we used to play it. But you had to make your own entertainment. You know, we didn't have toys. We didn't have things. We had to make your own. Today, the kids have got everything, haven't they? If you said to the kids, go out and play, and didn't give them anything to play with, they wouldn't know what to do. You know, just say, right, play. Use your imagination, play. And stand there going, well, what do I do? Wouldn't know. You haven't got an iPad or some kind of a computer game or something. They can't do anything, can they? They're just absolutely hopeless. All right, you're going to bed, are you now, cows? Take care. Hope you have a nice day at work tomorrow. Yeah, hopscotch used to chalk it on the pavement, didn't you? Bit of chalk, put the numbers on. But if you did that now, nobody would know how to play it. I think we all had better imaginations. I used to play with my son when he was little, teaching him to have imagination. Oh yeah, I'm staying in tomorrow, cause I'm not going out, especially near the sea. It's going to be terrible high tide. Yeah, I taught my son how to, use his imagination. Being an only child, he didn't have anybody to play with most of the time. So, and teach him to, put all his garage and his cars and everything. And he used to have these conversations, like, "Hey, Bill, shall I get my car up the ramp? Right, okay, here I come. Oh, it needs new tyres. And I got him to do this all the time. And he used to play by himself for hours on end. I taught my friend's little boy that years, many, many years afterwards. I used to lie on the floor with him. She said, "Oh, you got loads of patience." I wouldn't know what to do. I said, "You get down to their level and you show them how you're interacting with their toys. And they soon pick it up." And he did. He used to play for hours after that. Because she used to say, "Oh, he won't play with his toys for long. He gets fed up." I said, "Well, he gets fed up because he's not using his imagination. That's why he's getting fed up. There's only so many times he can run his car in and out." So I used to, start having like little dialogues with him saying, "I think we can reverse this car in here. Do you think we could do that? I think we'll do this. I think we'll do that." And very soon he started doing it on his own. Mm. My two nieces were all right because they had each other. But my son was on his own. Unless he had friends in it, then all they wanted to do was fight. What is it about little boys and fighting? They're not happy unless they're rolling around the floor and knocking 7 bells out of each other. I remember when my son was about 6 or 7, I said, "No more birthday parties in the house." They were terrible. They were fighting, they were knocking everything over. There was cream cakes up the curtains and everything because they finished up having a food fight. Then they popped all the balloons and then they were. I said, "That is it." I said, "If he has any more birthdays, we're going to the cinema. We're going somewhere they are not. I'm not having another birthday party in the house." I was finding sausage rolls squashed under the sofa for days. Boys are not happy unless they're having a fight, are they? Mm-hmm. I do love my Turkish delight. I want to finish this cardigan, and yet I don't want to because it's hurting my hands. The hook's too big and the wool's too thick. And it's getting too heavy now. It's weighing over on my knees. Fire still in. It's just a glow now, not a fire. My daughter-in-law's out for the night. She's not coming back till tomorrow because she's babysitting. And my son's gone out, but he's coming back in later. How late? Don't know. If he's not in, I shall just go to bed and the dogs can fend for themselves. Trixie's made a nest for herself on my chair. You can't see her, but she has. She's made a nest. She gets the cushion and makes it into a little pit and sleeps in the middle of it all. The other week when I had her overnight, she normally comes and sleeps with me, and she never did all night. I thought, where's she been? Anyway, she'd done the same thing, made herself a nest in the chair and slept on the chair. She won't sleep in a dog bed. She just won't. Rosie will, but she won't. Yeah, my finger's still, I can't make a fist. I know I've got my gloves on, but I can't bend that finger. Since it triggered, you remember it triggering and I had to keep going like that with it. Now it won't bend, that one. It won't go any further. I can make it go down, but I can't make a fist with it. It's really sore. And I've still got that lump in the middle of my palm. But it's been a lot better since I've been wearing this, well, a compression glove, not a pair. Been much, much better. And I've been putting some analgesic cream on it as well. But we can get by. Oh, I'm really not looking for. I want to finish this, and I'm really not looking forward to it. Oh. If I do a bit more, it'll be done a bit, won't it? Then I've only got the band to do. Hey. Hi, Ethan. How are you doing? I'm trying to crochet this super thick yarn and big hook, and it's driving me nuts. And that's what you're wondering why I'm grumbling. So everybody's gone very quiet. What are you all doing? You can see what I'm doing, struggling here. You started a cardigan for your niece. I'm trying to finish this cardigan. It's one I unpicked it. So now I'm trying to crochet it back up again. You're in bed. I can't sit up in my bed. I don't know why. Even when I'm trying to read, I have to lie down. I've tried propping myself up on a pillow and that, and I can't do it. Oh, thank you. It's just the boho spirit in and white in a hexagon jacket. You're still on your boho spirit as well. I'd like to do another one in black with the bright coloured Japanese, with the boho spirit, but using black as the main colour instead of white, yeah. You're shaping your neck, yeah. I just do a square neck, as you can see. like this, I just stop and do. It tends to, God, the gobstoppers are in the way. It's, I just do a square one and it tends to just go into a round one. I'm still doing this thick stuff. It's really too thick. That's what I did with the purple to make it eke it out. Did cuffs at the bottom and I was doing, at the bottom of this because it was too short. Because I didn't have enough of the pink. So I got 2 balls of this super chunky from the market. Probably only need one of them actually. I'll be making a purple hat with the other one, I guess. Lemon peel stitch. Hi, this is Yukon Cornelius. I know what stitches are, but I can never remember what the names are. People say, what stitch is that called? And I don't really know. Because people call them different names, don't they? Some people call it, you're repairing a seam. It's a very worthy cause. At least you'll have her sleep shorts back. I was always repairing. When my son was younger, he was like rip stitch. I was always repairing something. Jeans, anything. Used to rip everything. UK Medic. A shout out for mum and son. Setters Place. Winner's announcement. I didn't watch that, so I don't know what they're winning. I was watching Z. She got quite a lot of nice presents for her birthday, didn't she? If you watch Z. She got some lovely hand-dyed yarn sent to her. She did really well, and she had a party in the park for her birthday. Can't have a party in the park for mine, can I? We're all free today. You're all welcome to come and get sprayed by the sea. Z is Zelda LRJ. Yeah, Zelda LRJ. That's the ZZ. She suffered really badly with rheumatoid arthritis. She used to be a post lady, but she's had to give up work. But it was her birthday the other day, and she got lots and lots of lovely presents. She went out for a birthday dinner on her own, mind you, but she had lobster. I tell you, that girl can put her food away. Blimey, O'Reilly. I couldn't have eaten a fraction of what she ate. She's got a good appetite for sure. I've got a poor appetite, despite being a big fat lump, but I've got a poor appetite. Oh, you can do mine while you're at it, Mimi. My fingernails need doing. My friend wants me to cut them. She says, oh, look, they're too long, cut them off. Yeah, that's the one, it's easy. She's funny girl. I don't mean funny peculiar, I mean... They are too long. I just don't like cutting them. When I start filing them and cutting them, they start breaking off. They tend to break off anyway. That one will break before long because it's too long. So it'll break. So I'd rather it made its own mind up and broke off. But when I start filing them, they go all weak and then they start breaking off. I've got flimsy nails. We'll tell you about I've been watching this bloke. He's called, what's he called? And he goes into these abandoned, like, millionaires' mansions and shows you around them. And, you know, they're going to be demolished. And some of them, honestly, they're so massive. You think, my God, people must have had some money. Their kitchens are bigger than my whole house. Well, you had a tooth extraction. Oh, dear, Val. Oh, I hate having teeth out. Yeah, he does. Oh, God, what's he called? It won't stay on my knee. I've got slippy knees. Hello, we've got fireworks going. What's he called? Ethan Minnie. He goes round looking at, going in these abandoned houses. Look at the state of that. It's abandoned. And then they're going to pull it down. Yeah, Ethan Minnie. Minnie, Minnie. I mean, some of them have been, most things have been ripped out of them. But a lot of them are just still got the electric on. And everything's still there. And you're thinking, God, you know, it's a wonder they've not been broken into by hobos and, you know, slept in and stuff like that. I mean, maybe they get patrolled, I don't know. But he manages to go around and have a look around them. I mean, some of them, they look like they've left in a hurry and left everything. One of them had all these baby cribs and everything left behind. Makes you wonder whether they had to flee for some reason, you know, leaving all these things behind. Yeah, Ethan Minnie. If you liked having a nosy around anybody's houses, how the other half live, I mean, blimey. As I say, the kitchens are bigger than my whole house. And they have room, and they've all got en suites in the rooms, you know. And they're all being set for demolition, you know. They're going to build like 153 houses on the site because these places all have grounds and grounds and grounds, you know. Some of them have got their own swimming pools and lakes and things. And you're thinking, what kind of money did they have? And if they did, how come they? So some of the houses are like built in 1975, which to me isn't an old house. You know, some were even built in the 1980s. I mean, one or two of them, you could see why they'd been abandoned. Yeah, he just goes in. I think he must have permission. because he doesn't break in. He kind of opens the door and goes in. So maybe he asks permission to go in because he doesn't like force the door or anything. Um, you know, some of them are flooded, you know, and you can see the mold growing on them. And I don't know who gives them permission. Maybe the people who are going to demolish it. Because sometimes when he goes, there's like diggers and things on site. So maybe he asks permission. Can he go in and feed? I mean, he's well known. He does like loads of them. So maybe the people who are doing the demolition say, "Oh, go on, then you can go and have a look round before we pull it down." He's not doesn't break a window to get in or anything like that. There's another bloke who does it with him as well, that films as well, has another channel. So they must get permission. I can't see him just breaking in. But honestly, and some of them are the mould. And you're thinking, such a young house with all this mould. And the basements sometimes are flooded, and you're like, they must be built very badly to do that, surely. He looked at one the other day that had been being used by the police as like training practice. And there was all these like dummy bullets and stuff all over the place. And I'm like, oh, really? And all the front window was like shattered and smashed as if like they'd done a ram raid, you know. But some of the bathrooms, you're like, oh my God, and they've all got jacuzzi baths, you know, like whirlpool baths and things. His and her sinks. Goodness gracious. I'd be like, can I not just take that bathroom wood home? Can I not just take that jacuzzi bath home? If you're going to knock the place down and reduce it to rubble, can I not just have the bath? He went in one house and there was this box full of like t-shirts and that. All, I mean, obviously he says I don't take anything. I never take anything from a house. But this box full of t-shirts that, you know, were all kind of, they could have sold on the internet, like say for loads of money each, you know, these. I mean, maybe the demolition people go in and take, you know, the washing machines and things like that and sell them on. Because some of them had washing machines in them, cookers, freezers, you know. And I'm like, surely they don't just bulldoze it with all that in it. Surely they take out the bits that are saleable or salvageable. If they don't, it's a crying shame. Yeah, they absolutely. I mean, he looked at the dates on some of the newspapers and some of the food that had been left behind. And some of them were like 2012. No, 2023, sorry. 2022. So they hadn't been empty that long, you know, and yet they were flooded and they had mould on them and water coming through the ceilings, yeah. And you're like, it's been lived in up to 2 years ago. I mean, some of them hadn't been lived in for years and years, but a lot of them had been lived in up to about 2 years ago. And you're like, how quickly they've just gone to seed, you know. But it fascinates me. Ah, good show, Val. Yeah, it fascinates me, all these chandeliers and stuff. Beautiful things that they've all left behind. If that were me and I were moving out, I'd be like, right, I'm taking the chandelier, I'm taking the fridge freezer, I'm taking the cooker. If nobody's buying the house, if it's going to be demolished, I'm taking it all with me. It's going on eBay, you know. But maybe they're so rich they don't care. But but this guy was saying, like, you know, it's such a shame that they're going to take down this beautiful building and then build about 150 little townhouses on the grounds, you know. But I suppose they need these small houses, yeah. It's like what we were talking about last week, prefabs. This place in London, I think it was Lewisham somewhere, they're taking 120 prefabs down and they're building 300 and something houses on the same site. Because each of the prefabs was detached and had a little garden all the way around it, yeah. So they're going to be building 350 something houses on the same plot. They're going to be all squashed together, aren't they? I think houses today, unless you're very wealthy, houses today are getting smaller and smaller. Some of these new builds, honestly, you're thinking, good grief. They're like dog kennels. Yeah, you can do a thumbs up and you can subscribe to somebody while you're watching on the telly. I found that out the other week, yeah. So those of you watching on the telly, you can still give me thumbs ups. Zoop, zoop to you as well. Rosie's come back. Oh, son. He's on his way back. He said he didn't know how long he'd be. He's on his way home now. I didn't think he'd be that long because he's taking the car. And when he takes the car, he won't drink and drive, yeah. Oh, gosh, yeah. I watch a lot of these people who've done their houses up, you know, in America, and they say they got them off Facebook Marketplace. And I'm thinking, I look on Facebook Marketplace and there's all a load of junk when I look. There's never anything wonderful. But it's a bit difficult for me because, like, not having a car, if I spotted something I want, I'd have to either ask, you know, my son to go and pick it up for me or something. Be a bit difficult, wouldn't it, bringing something big back on my scooter? Especially if it was like the other side of Blackpool or somewhere, yeah. Right, I need to put a marker in that. Yeah, your yard sales in America tickle me. We don't have them over here. You know, they go mad if we suddenly put everything on the driveway here and started trying to sell it off. They go, you have to have permission. You can't do things like that. But in America, you just seem to stick everything by the side of the road or whatever, and people come and buy it, yeah. We have to do things like car boot sales, you know, and then you have to rent a space. Whereas I don't think you do if you're doing a garage sale, if you're putting it all on your driveway. I think they'd jolly soon object if I was to put a stall in the middle of the driveway and start selling my jumpers off, you know. I think they'd object a bit. Maybe I should run up and down the seafront with a little trailer on the back. Stop me and buy one. With a mannequin on the back, a dummy sat in a trailer, you know, them little dog trailers that they have. I did intend that I was going to sit and crochet on the seafront, but the weather's not been good, has it? I've got another message from my son. No, not since he said he was on his way home. Oh, Jill's doing a live in how long? 30 minutes. So by the time I go off here, you'll be able to nip over to Jill. and watch her live. If you were that so way inclined, you can go and watch Jill do a live. I won't, because I'll be going to bed when I come off here. But you'll all be sweet young things in the middle of the afternoon, won't you? So you can all go and join Jill later. Hey. Oh, I'll be glad when I finish this. I don't even think I've got any buttons. I might have to put wooden ones on. Oh, don't think I've got any pink or lilac buttons this big, because it needs a fairly big button. I know I've got big wooden ones, so it might have to have big wooden ones on instead. I don't know. Unless I see some on eBay and get them sent off for. It's difficult to know. Oh, yeah, it must be fun to go to garage sales. And the way you can put things at the curb when you don't want things and people can drive around and pick them up if they want them. You know, I see like people who've done that, you know, and they're like going into those skips that people have outside of houses. The skips outside of houses here always have broken up bits of brickwork or something. There's never anything exciting gets put in a skip round here. You know, people who drive round and see these wonderful chairs and pictures and mirrors and things, you know, in the like dumpster thing. What are you doing, kiddo? Hey, what are you doing, Baba? She's woke up now. She's looking at me. She doesn't know that somebody's coming home soon. I won't tell them. Otherwise, they get excitable if they know he's coming home. I was going to take these two to potty, but if he's coming home in half an hour, I'm sure they can wait a bit longer before they go. Are you looking at me like that for, sweet pea? Hmm? What? What? You're looking at me? Have you woke up now? Yeah, you woke up. She's going, like a little old man gurning. Yeah, we can't do that here. We'd get told off. We can put metal things outside because a scrap man comes, you know, and takes things like cookers and stuff. But we can't put anything else, you know, outside. You know, you couldn't stick a wardrobe outside or anything. Yeah, we're not allowed to do that here. It's a shame, really, because sometimes people are like putting really good bits of furniture in the bin. You know, I've never liked doing that marketplace when I've had things to sell because living on my own like I used to do, I just don't want people coming to the house. You know, you're a bit sort of wary, aren't you? I mean, I did do it before I moved because I thought, well, I'm moving anyway, so you know, people won't get used to where I'm living and come. No, I'm on my own because by the time they come back again, I'll be gone. You know, but I wouldn't like to do it here where I'm still living. You know, I know I've got the dogs and that, but I'm just a bit funny about people coming. Strangers, I should say, not people I know. Just in case you think I'm totally antisocial. I don't even like every coming to the door. I'd rather go to Royal Mail when I'm posting things up. Yeah, I usually say that to the dogs, but they may hear the car, so they'll hear the car on the driveway. Because I think I told you he's not gone for a drink, so he's gone in his car. It's one thing my son will never do. He does not drink and drive, not even 1 pint. I don't drink it. Well, I say I don't drink. I do drink, but I don't really drink, and I certainly, well, I don't drive anymore, but I certainly never had a drink when I drove. I know people used to say to me, "Oh, you can have one drink," and that. No, not if I'm driving. And I always wanted to take the car with me. If I was going to a wedding or anything like that, I would go in a taxi. Not that I would get drunk or anything, but I would like to have a drink or two at a wedding or something like that. But by and large, I don't bother drinking at all. I'm happy with my orange and my dandelion and burdock. I do have drinking, as you can see behind me there, behind me there, but I don't really drink it, yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, it must be nice to be able to do that. We'd get fined for littering or something if we did that. We've got a local group around here, and sometimes people come. People put on there, does anybody want this computer chair or something like that? If they do, I'll put it in the drive for you to pick it up, yeah. That way it doesn't like go on, for everybody to come around. It's just like local people who see it. It's just a local Facebook page for this little area, not for the whole of Fleetwood, it's just for this little area. I mean, somebody the other day put on, they had a load of apples, cooking apples or something. Oh, they would do, Chris, yeah. You're not allowed to. You have to have a hawker's license. You're not really allowed to sell from your house, and have a business from your house. You've got to have it registered as business premises. A friend of mine, she used to do sewing and that, and she used to have people coming to the house and that, and they wanted extra rates for her because they called it as being a business and not a private house, yeah. Because her front room, she had all sewing machines and things like that in her front room. And they said that she was running a business from her house and they wanted business rates from her. Oh, it's strange over here. Not like it is in America. We have completely different rules here for everything. It's like me with me. People used to say, "Why don't you sell from your house?" When I was doing the crochet and that. And I can't really, because if I advertised that I was selling from here, domestic premises, it's not a business. You can do online business from your home because they don't really know about that, do they? But I couldn't put all the things in the window. Car boot sales, well, you rent a space. You have to pay for a space or a table or whatever to go on these car boots. You don't go on for free or anything. So that's like classed as being a bit of a business. So like you can't sort of stick a table up on your driveway here and start selling off your stuff. Yeah, I like the flea markets. Yeah, if I wanted to do it, I would have to book a stall, pay for a stall, and take my stuff in the car and put it all out, and then get people haggling. A friend of mine, she knits little baby cardigans and that. And I mean, she only sells them really cheaply. She really does. And people are always trying to bid her down. You know, I'll give you £5. You know, for a little Aran baby cardigan, all with the Aran cable stitches on and a little hat to match. And she asks like a tenner, which I think is ridiculous, all the length of time it's taken her to do them. And people are coming and saying, no, I'll give you 5. Don't be so cheeky. I mean, a friend of mine was selling like a T-shirt and that on Vinted. It was only £2, and this bloke's like £1.40. And she's like, are you joking? She said it's a logo T-shirt, you know, in very good condition. I'm only asking you £2 for it. And he wanted to give her £1.40. She said, no, thank you. Anyway, somebody bought it for the £2. I mean, really, £2 was ridiculously cheap. But that's why I won't put my things on Vinted, because that's what people want. They want something for £2. I mean, even my cardigans, even if I sell them off at the cost of the wool, you know, people will be saying, oh, no, I only want to pay £5 or something. I'm like, nah, I'll keep them. I'll stick them in the shed. I mean, at the moment, when I come to sell them, I'll just be selling them for the price of the wool, because I just want to get rid of them. But I'm blowed if I'm taking less than the price of the wool. I mean, I kind of have words with one of my friends, because she's saying, well, it's money in your pocket no matter what you get for it. I'm like, no, I want my money back for the wool at least. Sorry, but I do. You might not value me time to give me anything for my time, but I want the money back for my wool. And yet I get people who live in America saying, oh, God, Jan, I wish your stuff was over here. It would sell really well. And I'm like, I can't give it away over here. It's like they want everything for a £5. My Vinted is to blame, because they sell everything rubbishly cheap. I don't buy off them, really. I never have done. I bought off eBay. I've never bought off Vinted. I don't know why. It's just a personal thing, I suppose. Well, to be honest, I've looked on Vinted and never found anything that I liked. A friend of mine buys a lot off there, but she's a lot smaller than me, so it's the same. Oh, your crafts are not appreciated at all, are they, heck? There was a pile of crocheted granny square blankets in the charity shop near me. £3 each. That's how much they value. That's why I keep saying to people who make blanket after blanket after blanket, make sure the people that you're giving them to want them. Otherwise, you'll find them in the local charity shop, thrift shop. Oh dear. But I mean, these blankets that were. Oh, I think Daddy must be home. Hey, hey, hey. I think he must be home, otherwise they would. Oi! Enough. Enough. Yeah, I used to sew some of my clothes when I was young, but the fabric today. Yeah, I think I'll let you come home. Yeah, he's come home. I can hear his voice. Yeah, fast fashion. Yeah, I always worry about who's made all this fast fashion. You know, the sweatshops and that. You know, you hear about them, don't you? Like in places like India and stuff, where they have them slaving, paying them peanuts, don't they? Also, that somebody can buy something cheap in Primark. Yeah, it does, honestly. It's just a shame. I'd rather buy second hand because at least it saves it from the landfill. We haven't been out for a wee. You didn't hear me. You were down a rabbit hole. I go down rabbit holes on YouTube. I really watch some very strange YouTubes. Start off watching something to do with crochet and finish up watching cooking and people stitching things in Japan and all sorts of things. Oh, Rosie's got a bone. Not a bone, a biscuit, sorry. Mm. It's amazing what you find on YouTube, though, isn't it? What you learn. Right, I think I've got one more row if I've got enough pink to do it with. Have they been out for a wee?
Hey,
Have you taken them out for a wee?
after.
Oh, it's all right then.
Has it been alright?
Yeah, they've been fine. Rosie had a bark once, but that's it.
Hey?
Rosie had one bark, but apart from that, she's been fine.
Okay. Right, come on, you two. Come in.
I think I've got enough pink to do one more row. Daddy wants you. Huh? Daddy wants you, darling. I've not got anything to eat. She's looking to see if I had any crisps. It's not all bad though, YouTube, is it? At least you learn things educational at times. It's not all rubbish, is it? I'd rather watch YouTube than watch the telly these days because there's nothing on the telly I won't. Do you mind not snorting? Daddy wants you. Go with Daddy. Daddy's gone bubble. You going to bed? Go to bed, Rose. Trixie. Nope, she's staying with me. Oh, gosh, he wouldn't do that. No, he's not interested at all, Mimi. No way. I've got no chance. What do they say? You've got two hopes, None and Bob. Yeah. I can't even get any of my knit club friends that even want to be on camera. You know, people who said, why don't you film when you go to a knit club? That inquiry was met with horror from all of my knit club ladies. Oh, no, you're not putting us on YouTube. So there is no chance. Yeah, it's true, Linda. You can go anywhere. Like I've been watching that crochet objet. She's in America. I mean, I won't ever go to America. I'll never be able to, but I loved watching her going, around, walking through the countryside, seeing Niagara Falls, going into a few of the shops and stuff like that. I really enjoyed looking at that, and I would never have been able to see that. And I watch Elise Bush. She goes into these charity shops in Denmark. And I'm like, oh, they're completely different than ours. You know, different styles of furniture, different styles of lamps and pottery and stuff that, they have in Denmark to what we have here. Yeah. Yeah, I can go from my armchair. I can even go and watch Blackpool. Even watch the people who do videos of Blackpool. That's just up the road. Oh, my giddy aunt. Oh, I will be glad when I finish this. Yeah, Google has some funny ideas about things, though, isn't it? Don't ever Dr. Google anything, otherwise you finish up with all sorts, don't you? Christine's mad. Oh, right. Our two have gone upstairs now with their dad. So, why is she mad with you? Because you made her go potty. Yeah, I used to watch one in the Isle of Man. Used to watch the ferries go in and out at the Isle of Man because it was just a live camera. You'd see them pull up and all the lorries and cars come off them. I don't know why I found it fascinating, but obviously I had nothing better to do with my time. It's amazing what you watch while you're crocheting, isn't it? I love watching, as you know, the Italian streets where they're walking around in these gorgeous, gorgeous clothes. Yeah. Oh, I was watching a fashion show the other day. Ralph Lauren. I mean, it's getting on a bit now. But the beautiful, beautiful, I mean, the gorgeous, well out of my price range, but gorgeous, gorgeous clothes. And then you look at the likes of Megan, and you're thinking, there's all these gorgeous things. Like she probably have to buy them, wouldn't she? Out there, why does she look like a rag bag? I mean, some of them are ridiculous, aren't they? They're so futuristic and silly. But Ralph Lauren, I mean, if I could have afforded it, a lot of them I would have loved to. Not his evening wear, because I never go out to wear it, but some of his daytime, the trousers and stuff and jackets and things, I think, yeah, they're really pretty. They're really nice. I like him because he's not too way out, not too trying to shock you into, wearing a candle on your head or something. Yeah, but when I saw all these gorgeous dresses, Munchkin, that money could buy, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking, why does she look such a mess? Yeah, well, I like going to Yarndale. I must confess I do. I don't buy anything because I don't have the money. I'm a people watcher and a yarn show watcher. And I wouldn't go to the illuminations purely because I don't like being out on my little scooter, after dark because it's got no lights on it. And I just don't like being really low to the ground on it, when you're in crowds and that. So I rarely go out at night. But I do like the atmosphere of going to places like Yarndale and things like that. I haven't seen it. I've seen snippets of that film, Linda. When she thinks she can just go to Dior and buy a dress, doesn't she? I mean, I watched a program. It was a second-hand, these charity shop things, and it was in London, and it was all this high-end stuff. I mean, I presume it was a lot reduced from what you would have paid for it if it was new, because never having had money to buy designer stuff, I don't know how much these things cost. But I remember seeing in this charity shop, and she's saying, "Oh, this is a bargain. This is £450, this dress," and I'm like, "A bargain." I thought I wouldn't have paid £450 if it were new. I think a lot of it is like snob value, is it? Just so you can say you've got a dress that comes from Dior or something. I mean, yes, if I had money, I'd buy a better quality clothes, but I wouldn't want designers. I don't pay thousands for a dress. No dress is worth that much. Oh, I know, she thinks she's God Almighty, doesn't she? She thinks she dresses lovely. She looks like she's wearing somebody else's frock half at time, trailing on the ground and sweeping the floor with it. I mean, give me strength, that red dress she had on the other day. The boob cups went in the other way. She needed padding in that bra. She's obviously got no boobs. I think an ironing board's got better shape. Yeah, I just wish they'd leave him alone. I don't want to know about her or him. You're just sick of every time you open the. Yeah, I can believe you had a shoplifter in the charity shop. I mean, one of the girls who worked at the charity shop in Prestwich, where I used to go in, she said a bloke went in, tried a pair of trousers on, and walked out with them and left his own dirty, horrible things behind. That's how cheeky they can be, even with a charity shop. Yeah, did you see that red dress where it was supposed to come out here? It went in. Looked like an inverted nipple. Sometimes I'll look at her and think, has she got an iron? Right, so let me see. Where am I going? No, I'm not going up there because. Yeah, some people are cheeky, even in a charity shop, though. Little thief. Yeah, this guy tried these trousers on and walked out wearing them, left his own behind. I know it is, isn't it, Chris? I mean, it's all for charity. I mean, I must admit, some of the charity shops, they wonder why people aren't buying from them. Their prices are just getting stupid. You know, they're asking more for a Primark T-shirt they're asking more for it than what it was when it was new, you know. And you're like, come on. Yeah, well, did you see that red dress? It just looked like that, didn't it? It was a right mess. I'm like, did she not have a mirror before she left home? Huh. I mean, the first thing you do before you leave the home is check yourself. Well, I do anyway. Check myself in a full length mirror to make sure I'm not looking, not got my skirt tucked in my knickers or something. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, I love stained glass. Why do you think I didn't like stained glass? So do I. What brought that on, Nerdy? Nobody said they didn't like it. We're not even talking about it. Are you on this channel or are you somewhere else? Hi, Nancy. Who was it who sang Nancy with a laughing face? Was it Frank Sinatra? Do you have a laughing face, Nancy? There is a fly. Oh, I've still got Rosie. I thought Rosie had gone with her daddy. But I still have her. She's still here. Oh. Right, I'm trying to do the band. I'm running out of wool fast here. Running out of wool. I've got a ball, but it's not going to go far. It's not going to go far. Right. I hope this is going to do the band. I didn't want to do the band in purple, but it might have to, because I've got plenty of the purple, but not much of the pink. You've hunger but a washing out. I like hanging washing out, but we've only got one of them umbrella things. They don't seem to dry anything that's in the middle. Dry things on the outside, but I'm not a lover of that. I'd rather have a washing line. But my son said they go rot. Oh. He used to walk outside at my other house and said it garrotted him, me washing lines. But I had to have them low enough because I'm not tall. If I had them high, I used to have to jump up and grab it to put the first one on, to bring it down to my level so I could pull it down. You can't have it too low, otherwise the sheets are on the floor, aren't they? You could do with a washing line that you could wind up and down. I'd love to have one of those things like your grandma used to have that came down from the ceiling, a maiden. So you could wind them up. I mean, they were a total fire risk, weren't they? Because ours used to be over the top of the gas cooker. And then another one was over the top of the fire. The open fire. But they used to dry their washing. We used to have the problem with the mill's chimneys. It's, one of those, what do you call them? Mexican jacket, done in white with the boho spirit, which is a multicoloured yarn, which means you don't have to keep changing colours. Very easy to do, but looks very complex. Oh, good night, Jane. I wish you joy giving Christina her pill. You know what dogs are like. If they don't want one, they will spit it out. I bought one for my other house, but I discovered that my ceilings were too low, so I couldn't put one up. I sold it to a lady that had been looking for one everywhere. But she had nice high ceilings, so she was okay. No, my washing would have been practically hanging on the floor because my ceiling was that low down. Well, it was where I wanted to put it. It was in my annex, or whatever you want to call it, my extension. And because it was a flat roof, the ceiling was a lot lower. So I couldn't put one up. I could have put one in the garage, but then, if we wanted to put the car or anything in there, it would have got dirty, the bottom of the washing. Because my ex-husband used to use the garage for his car. I never did because I could never get it in and out. The garage was too small. But he used to put his motorbike and his car in the garage. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. I've got mine on a airer in my bedroom. I know it sounds daft having it in my bedroom, but the sun streams in the back of the garden back into my bedroom window, and it's the warmest room. So if I put my clothes dryer in there, it dries quite quickly. When the sun comes up, not that we're going to have any sun tomorrow, it's supposed to be that storm. So I certainly won't be putting any washing out tomorrow. Oh dear. My hands are really hurting with this thick wool. I think I'll finish it tomorrow. I'm on the ban now. Don't know whether I've got enough wool to finish it. International Gin and Tonic Day. Nothing would surprise me. We've got International Cousins Day, Grandma Day, Grandchildren Day, Dogs Day, Cats Day. Doesn't surprise me we have an International Gin and Tonic Day. Yeah, at least it's got long enough now with that at the bottom. Just hoping I've got enough pink to finish it off with. I've only got that little bit. Yeah, I could do that. Could stand outside, couldn't I, and shampoo my hair. Except it might be a bit cold though. I've got a little. You ever get little whiskers off you? Whoa. In my mouth. Nothing could be heard but the gentle sound of Rosie going. Oh dear. At least she's not barking anymore. Jill's doing her video now called Crafty Saturday. So when I go off in 15 minutes, you all know you can go and join Jill. What's the latest news today? Oh, so Chris Hoy's got terminal cancer. Here we go. Storm Ashley, the latest. Danger to life warning as the UK is going to be battered by 80 miles an hour. 80 mile an hour winds this weekend. Met Office is warning of damage to buildings and power cuts and travel disruption. Oh my goodness me. Gusts of 80 mile an hour could hit the northwest of Scotland. You better watch out, Linda. A storm Ashley arrives. Yeah, you've got an amber weather warning, Linda, for the northwest Scotland, and a yellow warning for the entirety of Scotland, Northern Ireland, and parts of northwest England and Wales. Oh dear. Hey, Nathan. Severe weather warning will be enforced from 9 a.m. on Sunday until midnight. Ooh, I definitely am not going to be out on the seafront. If your friend's going to be videoing, he better have a waterproof cover over his camera. Your injuries and danger to life is likely from large waves and beach material being thrown onto coastal roads, seafronts and properties. Well, I'm glad we're a little bit further down than the seafront. Brace ourselves for power cuts, damage to buildings, disruption for people travelling by road, rail, air and ferry. Oh, how lovely. Oh, we're not missing it. Wales, Cornwall, Devon and parts of Dorset and Somerset. In other words, everywhere. In other words. Back up from my CPAP. Oh, my CPAP. It's been hissing and spitting and doing all sorts, and I've been having terrible sleep with it. Anyway, I've discovered that there was a hole in my tube. Luckily, I had a spare one. So I'm back now to... I had a nice night's sleep last night, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't want to hear about Starmer and Waves. Don't want to hear about her. I am a priority on the electric board if mine goes out. If my CPAP goes out, I'll just have to stay awake because I don't stop breathing when I'm waking. Well, it's only when I nod off. Well, it's all about football, football, football. I don't know how come I get all this football updates. Oh, funeral home in Poland apologises after a body falls from the hearse into the traffic. Sounds like something on a Carry On film, doesn't it? It doesn't have a battery up. Excuse me, it doesn't have a battery backup at all. No. If it goes off, it goes off. Why have I got all this football? Not interested. Hmm. No. Huh. UK will not apologise for its role in slavery. It's a long time ago. We can't be responsible for what our great-great-grandchildren do. did. I'm not grandchildren, grandparents did. You know, you cannot be responsible for what people did in the past. So how can you apologise? Wasn't you. You know, I'm sorry, but no, I don't. You know, if it was my great 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 grandfather did something, I don't feel the need to apologise because it wasn't me. You know. Yeah, I mean, you know, our ancestors probably did a lot of terrible things, but everybody else's ancestors probably did a lot of terrible things. So are we all going to have a mass apology to everybody and everything? You know, are we supposed to apologise for everybody that got killed in World War II? Don't think so. This sense of entitlement gets a bit ridiculous at times, doesn't it? If it was me, yeah. I mean, we all agree slavery was a terrible, terrible thing. But at the time, it was what happened, wasn't it? But it is many, many hundreds of years ago. So, you know, I don't think my lot were all humble little mill workers. They were never, you know, kind of in a position to own any slaves or servants. But, you know, it's just, yeah, I mean, a lot of my relatives and that worked in the cotton mills, and it was terrible. The working conditions were awful. They got very low pay. They worked very, very long hours. And, you know, but you can't expect everybody to apologise now for what happened in the past. I can't say all of the mill owners need to apologise for what, you know, dysinosis and stuff, what diseases they give to my ancestors. It was just the times, wasn't it? It was social history. It was just what went on. You know, yes, it was bad, and yes, it was terrible. And but now, I mean, people used to work in asbestos. People worked in cotton, getting the cotton in the lungs. You know, we didn't know anything. They didn't know any better about stuff in the air, breathing this stuff in that gave them diseases. You can't you can't expect people to apologise for what happened in the past. To me, I don't think you can. You know, we could all get on our high horses and say, "Oh, this shouldn't have happened to my ancestor." Yeah, my ancestors shouldn't have got bysinosis. They shouldn't have all died young from working in the cotton mills. But I can't go around suing the mill owners who are long, long dead and only did what they thought at the time. They didn't know it was all wrong. Yeah, you can acknowledge it. You can acknowledge it was wrong. As I say, none of my relatives, as far as I know, were ever in a position to have servants or slaves or anything. They were just lowly people, as far as I know, all of my relatives. I would be highly surprised if they did Who Do You Think You Are and they found out I had anybody with noble blood, for example. Mine were all little minions, you know, that worked in the cotton mills. Mine never had any. No, mine never even owned themselves, let alone anybody else. My lot. They're probably all in debt. They probably were in the workhouse, weren't they? If I went back into my ancestors, they probably were. You probably find half of them did die in the workhouse because of, you know, I doubt there was ever any money in my family. I would be highly surprised to find out I was related to a king or a queen. Never mind. But as I say, you know, it's no point in getting angry or, like as we say, get your knickers in a twist about things that are out of your control, you know. There's horrible things happened in the past, horrible wars, horrible atrocities happened in the past. But our generation should not be held responsible because it wasn't us, you know. It's just, I doubt if anybody was was rich. Not many people were rich back in the day. I hate to tell you this. I doubt you've got very rich relatives. I've got Scottish relatives on my dad's side, but I doubt any of them were rich. Irish on my grandma's side, but as I say, not many Irish people were rich, were they? We all fled Ireland in the potato famine and that. They were more likely to be poor peasants, my lot, that came over to England to earn a crust, because the potato harvest had failed, that's probably why they came over. I doubt I've got any landowners in my family tree. But, there might be one or two that's on here, they might be rich, Just don't let us, they just don't tell us. They come on a Saturday pretending to be poor like us. But there's one or two on here that's a bit rich. Not like us poor peasants. We may be poor, but we're honest and we're happy, aren't we? Well, except for Nerd News having a moment. But by and large, we're a happy little lot, aren't we? You have to be. If you're not satisfied with what you have, it makes you very miserable, I think. Yes, it would be nice to have money. Yes, it would be nice to win the lottery. But you had a bit of sugar, okay. But, it's, entitled. They don't want to work for it, though, do they, Mimi? They think it's all going to come to them on a plate. And it's not. And it's a sad thing. People are living above their means. People are just not thinking about tomorrow. I mean, I know homelessness is not everybody's fault, but in some cases it is, because they lose their job and everything is on finance. They owe money everywhere. So naturally, they can't pay their rent or something like that, and so they lose their house. Not everybody. I know some people are homeless through no fault of their own, but a lot of people just do not think about what would happen tomorrow. If I lose my job, what would happen? They haven't got a cushion to put by. I don't have much of a cushion, but you've always got to think of how you would cope if suddenly you had no wage tomorrow. You've got to have a backup plan or some thought as to what you would do. Yeah, some over here are psychiatric issues. A lot of them have drug addiction. But it's like, which comes first to me, the homelessness or the drug addiction? Are they homeless because of that, or are they drug addicted because of the homeless? They always say we're just one paycheck away, aren't we, from a lot of people from being homeless. And I've always been, I won't say a prepper or a planner, because I'm not, because I've never had the money to do that. But I always have a thought in mind as to how I would cope if when I was working. I mean, now it's not a problem, is it, because I get my pension? But when I was working, I always used to have like a backup thought, a backup plan. What would happen if I'd lost my job? Because it happened to me on, one occasion, happened to my ex-husband when he was out on strike for 6 weeks and we had no money at all coming in for 6 weeks. You have to have a contingency plan, let's just say. I mean, a lot of my ex-husband's workmates were in deep, deep trouble because they owed money everywhere. And they were saying to my ex, like, how are you managing? And he said, well, we don't have any debt. And, we are coping because I was working. He said, we are managing on Janet's wage. Yes, we're living on beans on toast, but we are paying the mortgage. And we're just doing what we can, yeah. And a lot of them were saying, well, we've got nothing. We've no cash in the bank. We've got no food. I mean, I used to keep enough in the larder to keep us going for 2 months without going to the shop. You know what I mean? But that was the way I was brought up. You always had tins and stuff in your larder. You always had stuff in your freezer. You know, if you come on hard times and you don't have money for a week, you can eat, you know, which is the main priority, isn't it? When you want, you know, you've got no money, is you need to eat. And yeah, but so many people these days just lurch from one disaster to another. And they don't even think about tomorrow or, you know, I mean, I'm fortunate in the fact now that I can't be made redundant, if you know what I mean. I mean, God knows Stormer's doing his best, isn't he, to take all my pension off me, but at least I have got some income coming in that's stable, it's relatively stable until he does something else to us. But, you know, I don't know. The world's in a mess. It's in a mess. On that happy note, you know, it's time for bed on that happy note, yeah. Now I've cheered everybody up, saying you're going to all be homeless and you've got no money, yeah. You don't have Starmer and Reeves and Rayner. Oh, my gobstoppers, yeah. I put it on so it would match the colours in my jacket, yeah. I put it on for that. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed. I shall leave Rosie to sleep on my sofa. She sleeps on the sofa most nights. It doesn't bother me. She's happy. I think she likes the quiet, we know, away from... I mean, my son does snore. And, you know, the little one snores when she's asleep. So I think Rosie likes the lounge to herself when I've gone to bed because it's nice and quiet. Yeah. So I'm going to have a nice... Oh, happy Saturday, Lydia. You're coming on again when I'm going off. You're going to get a complex in a bit, aren't you, Lydia? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have a good night's sleep because I've got a new tube on my CPAP machine, so yay. So I shall be able to get some good night's sleep. You're always late, Lydia. I know you're always late, Lydia. I just hope you don't think I'm going off because you've come on. I was going anyway. Oh, Nerdy Stitch is still down YouTube land. She's found an antique pattern library now. We're waiting for a storm coming, Lydia, so it'll going to be a bit hell on legs tomorrow. Yeah. We'll have high tides, so I won't be going on the seafront. Free cross-stitch patterns, yeah. I've been watching all these ladies who are doing all these cross-stitching things. There's quite a few of them. Who do I watch? The Crafty Clegs I watch. Quite a few that are doing cross-stitch. If I think about it, I shall tell you all who they all are. I shall put them on our channel if I find out who they are. I know one of them's the Crafty Clegs. And most of them are doing that blanket. That gingerbread blanket, whatever it's called. I don't even like it. It's not even nice. Have you seen it? Serdar have done it. It's got like whirlies in each corner and a thing in the middle that's a gingerbread house. It's not even a nice blanket. I don't know why everybody wants to do it. I wouldn't want it. I mean, what are you going to do? Drag it out every Christmas and put it away all through the rest of the year? By the time you finish doing it, Christmas will be long over. Yeah, 80 mile an hour it's supposed to be. As long as our roof stays on, I don't mind. You don't mind losing a fence panel, do you? But when you start losing roofs, yeah. Rhinebeck this weekend. Ooh. Yeah. Maybe I'll see some videos on YouTube about Rhinebeck. Maybe somebody will go and have a look. Yeah. Yeah, Little Workroom Crafts, that's the one. My Yarny Corner. Little Drops are Wonderful. Those are the ones you need to watch, Nerdy. What's the dog? I thought my son was having an asthma attack upstairs. It's the dog sighing. Crochet from the 1949. Woo! I was 4 in 1949. 4 years old I was in 1949. Showing my age, 79 next month. I wonder if it's a Saturday. Maybe you can wish me happy birthday. I don't know. Where's the calendar gone? Whenever I want to put the calendar up, it never comes up. Oh, here we are. October. November. Oh, no, it's a Monday, my birthday. We'll have to celebrate my birthday on the 23rd of November because that's a Saturday. You'll all have to sort of have a drink with me, get some cake. Yeah. So I'll have to have my birthday party 2 days early. She sounds like she's having an asthma attack. She sounds very, very wheezy. I shall have a look at that later, Nerdy. Nerdy sent me a link. I shall look at it tomorrow when I've woken up here. Right, people, I'm glad that after 4 attempts, mine's the 25th, yeah. And I can't remember who I share my birthday with. It's somebody famous I share it with. I thought it was Tina Turner, but it wasn't. She's born on another day. Oh, I nearly knocked my drink over. I thought I was born, but it's not. Tina Turner was born on the 20-something, but it wasn't 25th. I was so disappointed. I thought it was Tina Turner's birthday, but it wasn't. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go, people. I'm going to go to bed now. Clear up my rubbish. I've got cans here and bottles and stuff. Tin openers. Right, thanks, Chris. I'm glad I stayed on. Oh, it would have been a nightmare if I'd carried on, keep going off, wouldn't it? Yeah, Jill is live. If everybody wants to go over to celebrate Jill, everybody over to Jill. Now I'm going, you can all go to Jill's. I shall give you my permission. You've all done very well. I'm sure Jill will be all very glad to see you all. Yeah. Okay, bye now, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now.